10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good golly, Miss Molly. We're back in our old time slot here, Mondays, 3 p.m. Why not? You know, I mean, the main show is Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. But there I was today thinking, you know what? Let's just go live for a while, for an hour, just chat about some stuff, and see who turns up. I have huge piles of physical media to show everybody. So I thought, let's do that. Let's get that out of the way rather than make a video on it. And yeah, great to hang out with you guys. I'm also being joined by our great friend, Christian. How are you, my friend?
I am great. I had a great Remembrance Day today. Great festivities in the West End of Ottawa, where I had the honor as a proud dad to see my son participate as a Canadian Army corporal in the parade. So I'm tickled pink, and I'm in good company now. It's been a great day all around.
It has indeed, and I saw the picture of your son. He's a fine-looking man, and I'm very pleased he's serving our country. I do find it hard to believe that he is your son. He is such a fine-looking man.
I know. Well, it's because you haven't seen my wife yet. If you see my wife, you'd say, okay, I get it now. I see where it comes from now.
Yeah, so it was a great day here too in our little town in Alberta. Big turnout for the Remembrance Day thing. Big turnout all over Canada. I'm assuming, hopefully, everywhere else that Remembrance Day and Veterans Day is celebrated. I'm very proud once again of our community and our country. And yeah, it was great. It's always good. And it's always great that here, I don't know about in Ottawa, but here they lead off with the pipes playing Scotland the Brave and then finish with Amazing Grace on the pipes. So I always appreciate that very much. Tim, who is in the chat, hello, Tim, wanted me to share some photographs of myself in the RAF. Well, I have a few, but they're all in Polaroids or old. I actually haven't got them digital, and they're not very exciting, I have to say. However, this is one. This is one of them.
Ah, there we go.
So there I am. I think I'm about 17 years old there in the Royal Air Force in RAF Cosford. It was an air show day. We had the air shows there. What I didn't know at the time was I was suffering from some illness, which after the end of the day, I went back to bed and slept for about 2 days, and I realized something wasn't quite right. Ended up I had glandular fever, so I looked pretty good considering I was actually finding it hard to even stay awake at the time. There you go. That's the young me in the Air Force. Proof that I existed. My God, I'm handsome.
And slim too. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, I was skinny 16, 17-year-old. Yeah.
So now it looks good.
Yeah, so I might have to digitize the other ones, although as I say, there's none very exciting, although there are some photographs of me on a parade. We used to go down to London to do these parades for the Queen and if there was a visiting head of state. So they would parade them with the Queen in a carriage through the city, and of course the military we all lined the streets with our guns, nice. Did all the saluting and blah blah blah. So I've got some photographs of that. Hard to tell it's me from 200 feet away, but there you go. So anyway, yeah, Remembrance Day, a very special day, and yeah, Hang on, get rid of that picture. There we go. I don't want to. Wish I was that slim now.
Well, people probably think you're Deathly Hill.
Yeah. I'm actually, the suit I was wearing today is a suit that I've had for many years, and it's still a brilliant, it's a Daniel Hector suit, really good, custom made, and it still fits me after 25 years. 32 waist, 32 waist, still fits me. So whilst I may think I'm not that bad, I still can wear the same trousers as 25 years ago.
Well, I went to buy a suit, custom, custom made. Okay,
Yeah.
and the tailor was very funny because my jacket and all that 52, and he looks at my wife. He says 52 small for my jacket. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're funny. I like you. I'm still not tipping you, and but I haven't gained too much weight. If I can stay in a margin of 10 to 20 pounds, I can hold on to that
Yes.
suit as well.
I kind of hover at the same amount for me, which is good. And that's without being able to work out for a couple of years the way I used to because of my back and stuff. So
same here.
Yes, luckily for me, I don't have the capacity to really overeat. So there's a limit. And I've cut down on my drinking drastically in the last few years. Hello to everybody that's joined us on this impromptu stream. I see the lovely Purple Valkyrie in the chat. Lovely to see you, my dear. I hope you're well. Dustin is here. Welcome to join, mate. Won't join us, mate. The link is in the DM group. Good to see you, Dustin. The wonderful D Bud Martin, who finds it hard to make our new time slot on Wednesday evenings, so I'm glad that he could be here today. The wrench of wrenches, the man, and one of my, and he's a high sticker.
Oh,
he's
yes,
a high sticker. You are a groupie, of course.
That's right. I'm very important in the chain of start and ship. If you don't have groupies, groupies make the world go round.
That's right. And Tim is here as well. Good to see you, Tim. Davina, the wonderful Davina, also does some great modding for us and is such a great supporter. Good to see you, Davina. And I'm sure there'll be others. We'll drop in and out as we go. Thank you to you all for being here. We're also over in Rumble and on Twitter. And in honor of the fact that my good friend Christian is here, then I think it's time we should play the groupie level video. I want those three girls of this channel.
And those are nice looking helmets.
They are. Those helmets look great.
Yes.
I'm not going to go down any road of jokes about helmets. So
No. Purple, whatever. Purple Valkyrie. No jokes about anything.
No purple helmets. No.
Thank you.
Helmets.
I didn't know if I should say that.
I did say wrench of wrenches or wretch of wretches to save a wretch like me. That's I heard that line today. Well, yeah, I thought mainly today I had a great day last Thursday where we went to a town north of Calgary, about an hour from where we live in Alberta, called Airdrie, which is a good Scottish name. It's a town, it's Airdrie, and usually it's a town that people pass through on the way from Calgary to Edmonton, but we thought we'd go and hang out there for the day and visit their thrift stores.
Oh,
boy, did I get a lot of stuff. It was like, wow. And then on the way home, we realized that we had to stop at the library in our own little town here and pick up a book. And we'd forgotten that they're November. Every 6 months they have a book sale on. And it's not really a sale. You can actually take whatever you want for free and you make a donation. And they also have DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff. So we went, didn't know that. Grabbed the whole piles. So I have an absolute huge set. I have huge piles here. So the operation is on to get those piles from over here to over there.
Watch your back. Watch your back.
So I thought I'll talk about that. And we can talk about other stuff too. But I'm so glad you could join me, my friend, because you can walk through this wonderful stuff with me. Now, last Wednesday night, we had a wonderful show on Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay.
Very funny. I mean, I think we recited the whole movie. And in fact, it's, you know what's ludicrous? I got a copyright claim.
No.
Now, I was showing stills, but I think because we were reciting the words from that scene, it thought we were playing the movie, and I got a claim in it. So we were so good at our huge tracts of land, you know. But the fourth castle stayed up, you know, that kind of thing. So we were doing that. But anyway, I had a premonition. I thought, it's weird. It's the weirdest thing. I had a premonition. I thought, we're going to see this DVD special edition we were talking about on the stream. I'm going to see a copy of that soon. What did I get in Airdrie for $2?
Oh, Holy Grail. Wow.
And the Holy Grail special edition, which we were talking about on the stream, and the great menus, the funny menus, and all the extras. There it was for $2.
Waiting to be purchased.
I had a premonition I was going to see that. Now, I used to have the British version of this, but as you know, we have a different system in Britain. It's called PAL. Over here, it's NTSC. So I got rid of, when I moved to Canada, I got rid of most of my British physical media. But I never got around. I had this ripped on to digital, but I never got around to getting a physical copy. So for $2, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Wow.
The most Holy Grail.
Yes.
And so it's full of these wonderful extras. So I can't believe that the sheer fortitude of that, talking about the movie, and there it is.
There's something to be said that if you look hard enough, you'll find something. It's like me. We have an hour's down the road here south. There's a flea market. It's quite big. There's over 250 merchant. Everybody's got vinyls. The stuff that I pick up, and I'm like, 50 cents? Really? You sure you don't want me to give you $5 for this?
I know, they just...
It's almost like I'm ripping these people off. I feel bad. But they're like, no, here.
No, don't feel bad.
No. Well, I'm happy when I get home, but to me, it's like, are you sure? And
so
beautiful.
No, D-Bud's got that version, and it. I don't think the same special features are on the Blu-ray, which is the funny thing. I think the 2-disc DVD is the definitive version. This is the one where the menu that says, "Please insert disc 2." No, into the player. As opposed to inserting somewhere else.
That today.
Yeah. So that was one of the first things I saw in the thrift store in Airdrie. There was 3 really good ones, and for $2. So I was nice. I was like a little kid. I was giddy with excitement.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
you got 40 pounds of vinyl and it's cost you $10.
Yeah. So some of the other stuff I got was from those stores, and there was like one of them was Blu-rays it was $3.99, but you could take 2 for $3.99. So it was basically $2 each. Other stuff I was getting DVDs for $1, and then in the library, basically it was free. They were basically giving stuff away. Some of these I can't remember which are which. So another thing I got was the 2-disc unrated American Gangster, which of course is such a magnificent movie.
Yes, I enjoyed that.
Denzel and Russell Crowe, brilliant movie. One of Ridley Scott's best, I would say. Denzel's just magnificent. So is Russell Crowe. So I got that, the 2-disc version of that. Obviously, I checked them all as well for the discs, but nothing particularly exceptional about the discs. But to get that on physical media is great. And I don't mind, as I keep saying, Tom Connors mocks me for getting DVDs because he's on like 8K already or whatever. I say, I don't care. They look fine to me.
Well, DVD is actually a good medium because you actually see it better. You know, I find the 4K, it's like now you start to see the actor's face. Yeah, exactly. And to me, it's like, this is not a movie.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. And I don't have a 4K TV, and I'm certainly not getting rid of my lovely 1080p here I've had for years because it works great and I like it. So I'm not spending that kind of money right now. One day it will have to be done. But so I got also this was in one of those stores. It was the Office Space
Oh, yes.
DVD. Mike Judge, obviously. Office Space. What is it you'd say you do here? One of the greatest movies ever made about, and it's sealed. It's a sealed copy. No, it's never been opened.
Wow.
So, yeah, I just love that. What is it you do here? You know, it's such a great, great movie, satirical of the corporate office world, which I have spent some time in. So that was the special edition of that, full screen, but I don't care. No.
I'm sad to say Mike Judge's movies, I never seen that one and Idiocracy. I never seen them. I know I saw the reviews and everything, but I never got to watch them.
They're good.
Yes.
Idiocracy is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah,
it's one of the greatest movies ever.
Which spawned a worldwide hatred for us Croc-wearing people.
Yeah, Crocs are great.
I know, I love them.
So another one of these cheap DVDs, which actually I'd looked at buying this on physical media for some time, and I'd seen more expensive versions. I got it's My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, yes.
Again, there's one of those collector's editions, Word Series collector's edition, in absolutely spiffing. I don't buy them if they're too beaten up. This one is in incredibly good condition. Made of real gold.
Wow, imagine that.
Yeah. Again, this one is also sealed.
Wow.
Never been opened. I'm going to open it because I'm going to play it at some point. But one of the funniest movies of I guess it's 20 years ago now, isn't it?
Oh, no, more than that. This came out. I remember seeing it in theaters. This came out in the late 80s, early 90s, where Joe Pesci was just coming out of his shell as an actor.
It's what's that? My wife and I are always saying the line from that. You blend. Yeah, like you blend.
You look like a sore thumb. Yeah, and you blend.
What is he, Fred Gwynn? What is he, Ute?
And Fred Gwynn. Fred Gwynn.
Yeah. What is a Ute?
Exactly.
The Utes.
The Utes. You know, the Utes. And the guy who always wants to beat him up says, "All right, come back with $100 and I'll fight you." Yeah. Because is that a roll of ones?
It comes out with that 1860s Southern red velvet, whatever. Trying to blend, like you blend. Yeah. So anyway, great. I was so happy to get a nice copy of that, and I didn't have a copy of that on physical media. This was a freebie from the library. Tom Cruise, Vanilla Sky.
I saw that.
Not a bad movie. I mean, I'm not the greatest, but it's pretty good. I do love Kurt Russell in it. Especially when he realizes he's not real. What do you mean I'm not real? I think that's in this movie, isn't it? I keep getting confused.
Isn't that where he's well, not to give it away, but isn't that the same kind of guy who did Blade Runner and all that? The same author?
Yeah.
Vanilla Sky, Minority Report.
Is it from
what's his name?
Was it from him? Not Harlan Ellison. It's terrible. It's one of my favorite authors. It's just good. Philip K. Dick.
Philip K. Dick.
Is it a Philip K. Dick?
Because I know Minority Report was a Philip K. Dick movie with Tom Cruise.
I didn't think this was.
Okay. Because it's got the same kind of vibe, especially the twist at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was an original Cameron Crowe script, but I could be wrong. And forgive me, people, if I'm wrong about that.
Well, I could be wrong. I apologize. But for me, for some reason, I thought it was a Philip K. Dick adaptation because it's got the same vibe. You know what I mean?
It does. I could be wrong, but
there we go. Athena to the Rescue, a remake of
Open Your Eyes. Yeah, Open Your Eyes.
Yeah.
So I actually think it's a pretty fun movie because I like that kind of playing with reality thing. And I loved it when Kurt Russell's character realizes that he's just in the guy's head and he's not real. He goes, Jesus Christ, what do you mean I'm not real? He actually takes it really hard.
That's right. The imaginary guy's bubble just been bursted. But
Yeah.
and anything Kurt Russell does is
Oh,
genius.
Kurt's great.
Oh,
Kurt's
the
the
guy's
man.
legendary.
Now, this isn't a good movie, but it was free, so I couldn't. I had to take it. I couldn't just leave it lying there because it's a public service taking a bad movie away. Somebody else may
Yeah.
have ruined someone's life. So it's
That's right.
the Tom Cruise Mummy.
Speaking of, I never seen that one either. I never
And
got around to it.
I wouldn't bother if I
Okay,
was you.
good.
But for free, I had to take it, and it does have Russell Crowe in it. But I never understood this movie, and I don't know what people in the chat think. I never understood, is Tom Cruise the good guy or the bad guy? Like, I couldn't quite get it. He's kind of the good guy, but he acts like the bad guy because he's been possessed. It just kind of didn't work for me. I mean, just give me a good guy fighting the bad guys, you know. Not a great movie.
And hence, they were supposed to do the Universal. It was supposed to be a remake of the Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
And because this was such a flop, that the guy that was the end of that.
Yeah, they were going to relaunch the whole Monsters thing, and dead.
And then they put him in Star Trek. They put that clown who made that movie into Star Trek there. Little dweebish guy with the glasses.
J.J. Abrams? Was it J.J. Abrams?
No, one of his proteges.
Oh, the other one, Kurtzman.
Alex Kurtzman. They put him in the Star Trek Columbia, and he just ruined that.
Alec Kurtzman, sorry, yes.
Same difference.
Yeah, the Brendan Fraser Mummy was fun. I think the sequels got a bit ridiculous, but the first Brendan Fraser was good fun. Klutzman, yeah. This was also a freebie, and it's a pretty damn good movie. The Kingdom. Yeah, Jamie Foxx. The great Chris Cooper, Jamie Foxx.
Oh, yes.
The Kingdom. Set in Saudi, I think it's Saudi Arabia. It's set in
Saudi Arabia. And you know what? Yes, that was a good movie.
Peter Berg, who's a great director. I like Peter Berg. And of course, I spent some time there. So it meant, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. So The Kingdom, not a bad action thriller. Nae bad, it's nae bad. Mm-hmm. Let us know in the chat what you think of these, Feel free to insult them because I say some of these were free and I'm not leaving them there for some poor sucker to take them, watch them and ruin their lives.
Yeah, but there's such a thing as insomnia, okay, where you can't sleep. And instead of reading a book because it hurts too much, you just pop The Mummy in there and you'll be snoring and drooling in no time.
Pop into The Mummy, did you say?
Yeah. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have.
Pop into The Mummy. Hey, if you're married, great. This was a pretty beat up copy of not a great movie again, Matrix Reloaded, but again, it was free and I didn't have a physical copy. Matrix Reloaded. The first Matrix is great. I could live without the other two. Well, I'm not even going to consider the last one.
No.
That was.
But that one's got a great fight scene on top of the tractor trailer in the middle of the interstate.
Yeah.
I love that.
That fight was good, yeah. So this was the 2-disc widescreen edition. So for $0, the grand price of $0, I thought I'll grab that.
That's fine.
Because it'll sit in the shelf for the rest. So it's interesting when you talk about the Kingdom. Davina's talking about the word kingdom has been used for so many different movies and TV shows that it's very hard when you're looking them up to find the one you want. Kingdom, though, a Kingdom I like is a 2-series Netflix Korean show.
Of course.
Called Kingdom. And it's, I did a video on it and I noticed a few weeks later, it's pure coincidence, but Critical Drinker was talking about it. It's a great Korean show. Zombies in the medieval Joseon era in Korea. Just kick-ass, absolute kick-ass. So
I find Korean, Japanese, we saw a Filipino zombie movie on Netflix, me and Mel, and I find that they're like fishing water out of a new well. You know, like it's not the same American, like their concepts and their ideas, just the thought of the idea is so much different and more original than what we come out with in the West with Hollywood and stuff like that. It's like I told you before, we were watching this Japanese show, Alice in
Borderland.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. What a great concept. You
Absolutely love that show.
I know. And but to think as if, okay, and not counting Train to Busan, okay, the Korean one, but there's just the concept and the idea, the premise, it's miles ahead of what we do in the West.
They want to make entertainment as well. Entertainment's not a dirty word in Korea and Japan. Well, it depends how much you pay. But entertainment's not a dirty word. We want to make something entertaining. Yes, there are sometimes things in them other than that, but you watch Alice in Borderland, it's just pure magic. It's just like, wow.
Yeah. And you don't see it coming. 2 seasons full to get a last twist at the end.
Now, there is going to be a 3rd season, but they're beyond the original manga. So we don't know what that plot's going to be, but there is a 3rd season coming.
And there's one movie that you covered, a Korean movie about the Japanese World War II mining island.
The Battleship Island. I love that movie.
And that's it. Like, what a wonderful story. And it
blows your mind. Yeah, it blows your mind when you watch these. It's incredible. So entertaining. Korean stuff is my thing now. I mean, I do watch Japanese stuff and some Chinese stuff, but Korean stuff, it's virtually all I watch. I'm watching The Lincoln Lawyer season 3 right now, but that's probably because of the missus. But
I saw the movie.
Virtually no English language stuff that I'm watching. So,
but Lincoln Lawyer, did they make a series out of that?
Yeah, it's 3 seasons now. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
So I just wanted to say, D-Bird Martin says, I just want to know what Brian's wife thinks about him bringing all this stuff home. And then Davina nailed it when she said, I bet Brian told her it's a tax write-off. I did.
Yes, very smart.
And you know what? It is, and it works. So it worked last year, so hopefully it'll work this year, as long as I do videos about them. But yeah, the Kingdom is a great Korean show on Netflix. Well worth it. I also did a video recently about 5 Korean TV shows to watch out for by the end of the year. So check that out. There's some great stuff that's coming up. I do watch the tentacle stuff. That's true. I like tentacles.
I never got into that. I'm more into humping and thorax and type of thing like that. You know, that's more where my thing is.
Tim's mentioned a great movie that we will do one day, The Wild Geese.
A World War II one, right? With
Richard Burton and Roger, wasn't it Roger Moore? Am I getting mixed up? Sure, it's Wild Geese is Richard Burton, Roger Moore, I believe. Was it Richard Harris in that one too? I can't remember. I did want to talk about it at some point. Richard Burton, Roger Moore, Richard Harris, Hardy Kruger. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I sometimes get mixed up between that and North Sea Hijack, which was also Roger Moore. But The Wild Geese, pretty good movie. We shall do that. So anyway, onwards, because I've got a huge pile.
Yes, it'll be a 2-hour show if we keep up.
So this is a movie I quite enjoyed at the time when it was out on the cinema. Jodie Foster, Panic Room.
I saw that.
Special edition Panic Room, 3-disc special edition. That was $2.
3 discs.
3-disc special edition. It features a batshit crazy performance by one of my favorite artists, Dwight Yoakam, who also has become a really crazy actor. I love Dwight Yoakam. It's funny because when he started acting, when he sings, he's always got the cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
When he's acting, he doesn't wear it, and he's bald.
He's bald.
It threw me right off. I was like, "Is that him?
Who is that guy? I know that guy."
So this is the 3-disc edition of Panic Room. It's a really really nice package.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. So I thought it was a very entertaining movie at the time. Fincher, I think, wasn't it? David Fincher?
Possibly. David
Yeah.
Fincher came out with good ones.
Yeah, it was David Fincher. But yeah, it's a great movie, tense movie. Jodie Foster has actually made some decent movies in her time, I have to say. So I don't mind Jodie Foster.
Do you want to see a good movie by Jodie Foster real quick? Contact.
Oh, I love Contact. I got it.
And it's got the great James Woods in it, playing stereotypically the bad government guy.
Yeah. Contact's a brilliant movie. Absolutely brilliant. It does make me a little bit emotional when she's on that alien beach with her
dad,
father.
Yeah.
It's quite sad. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Brian, keep going. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So anyway, next up is a movie I do have in multiple formats already, but again, this was for $2. It's the collector's edition of The Magnificent Seven, which we covered on Nick Visor's Toxic Tuesday recently. It's always been one of my favorite movies. This is obviously not the remake, which is nothing wrong with the remake, but this is the original. Had the booklet with it. Some great artwork on this, on the Seven there. It's one of the greatest movies ever made in cinematic history. Yes, I know it's a remake of Kurosawa, but still, Chuck Bronson. What more can you say? Bad government guy, isn't that redundant? Yeah. So that was The Magnificent Seven. There were some Blu-rays. These were the 2 for the price of 1 ones. I got this partly just so I could troll Toxic Man Flu with it, but in actual fact, it's not as bad a movie, I don't think, as many people say it is. Green Lantern. It's okay. I know a lot of people hate it, but it's okay. And this is the extended cut, so it's even more misery for those who hate it, of course. 2-disc special edition extended cut of Green Lantern. I actually will watch it again. I think I'll stick this in the player and watch it again just to reevaluate it. I mean, people moan about Marvel and DC movies now. Superhero movies these days, the last 10 years, 5 years, this actually starts to look a little better. Another one of the greatest movies of modern times, anyway. When I say modern times, I mean the last 30 years. The Usual Suspects was loitering around in the buy one, get one free Blu-rays in this thrift store. So I whipped that off the shelf. What a fantastic movie. The great Pete Postlethwaite, who played a real shit in Sharp years ago with Sean Bean. I don't know if anyone remembers that, whatever watched Sharp. Pete Postlethwaite was a real shithead in it. He's sadly departed, of course, but been in such good stuff over the years. I still do like this movie a lot. I know there's a couple of people, I think Toxic Man Flu hates it, but then Toxic Man Flu's nuts. The thing, and it's the Christopher McQuarrie script, I think. I know it was Brian Singer directed, but Christopher McQuarrie's script is top notch, I think. It kind of, I mean, if you're paying attention, it does telegraph things a little bit. You have to really be paying attention, but it's pretty good. See, D. Bud Martin watched, see, you actually are admitting to watching Green Lantern twice. You must have loved it. Oops.
Hi, everybody.
I'm playing with my buttons.
I
don't know what I've done to you. Oh, there you go. You're there. Sorry. I
I
lost you for a minute there.
Whatever you're doing,
that better?
Brian.
That's better, don't you think? That's much better.
I'm the groupie after all, right? Yay!
Well, I'm showing this stuff off.
Yay.
So, not the first copy of this I've got, but it's the first Blu-ray copy I've got, The Boondock Saints.
Yes, that's a good movie.
Yeah, so it was nice picking up a Blu-ray copy of The Boondock Saints with a few extra special features, starring, of course, the great Scotsman Billy Connolly, albeit he's playing an Irishman. So Boondock Saints, they are making, are they making a remake or a reboot or
don't do it.
sequel? unless
Don't do
it's
it.
the original people and it's going to follow the same ethos, forget about it. Don't try and remake it. It'll just be it'll be two girls or something.
It's blasphemy, just like trying to remake Back to the Future.
Yeah,
You know, the producers have made it clear nobody's redoing our masterpiece.
exactly. So, I'll put you up. Oh, I didn't mean to make you and embiggen you.
Well,
What's going on with these buttons? There you go. I was trying. Oh no, you're the big one now.
I know. You reverse the
How
thing.
does that work?
I know you're playing with the buttons, Brian.
I don't know how that works. Anyway, sorry about that, everybody. I'm just trying to figure out my own software. Hey,
Well, that
Snowdub's
was fun.
here. Boondocking Theaters, yes. Hey, Larry, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, Snowdub. We're just working through a ton of thrift store stuff I've got. You missed some crackers.
And
The
we're
only
losing a battle with the buttons.
I don't know. Hang on, maybe it'll work. This no, it's making me the small one. How does that? There
Sorry,
you go.
don't touch
better.
it. Don't touch it anymore.
Well,
Don't
I was
touch
trying
it.
to put you in the other corner, so that I wouldn't have to hold this up in front of the microphone. But A-Team movie thoughts?
That was all right.
I thought it was enjoyable. I only ever saw it once.
Same here.
Yeah, it was okay. But I mean, as I say, for to get it on for like $2, it was well worth it, I thought. So I'm looking forward to reevaluating it and watching it again. So I don't know. What does everybody in the chat think? Please tell me. Was the A-Team movie worth it? It took a little bit of while getting used to the Liam Neeson's blonde hair, but
Was it blonde or white?
white
Because
hair.
George Peppard's hair was white back then.
Peppard. Yes.
Peppard, thank you.
Peppered.
I remember him.
I forgot Jessica Biel was in that.
Jessica Biel, yes.
Yeah.
And you got the South African guy there who plays Face.
Bradley Cooper.
No. Yeah,
the other one,
the crazy guy. Who's the crazy guy? He was Broccoli in Deep Space, The Next Generation. It's a South African guy. He played in Henry. That great
Not
movie.
Patrick Wilson, no.
No, Patrick Wilson.
Charlito Copley? No.
That guy. Yeah. That guy. He's a wonderful actor.
I've forgotten all about him.
Yeah, well, he was a flash in the pan, but did you see him in Henry, that first-person movie they made? And he played many different characters.
I might have seen it. I can't remember now.
It gives you vertigo. It's almost like a first-person shooter movie. It was great.
No, maybe I haven't seen it then, but I forgot this was a Joe Carnahan. Anyway, A-Team. I got 2 more Blu-rays in this buy one get one free in this thrift store. So I got 6 in total, which was $12 for the 6 of them. 1, 2, yeah, $12 for 6 of them. There's District 9.
Same actor. That actor played the South African actor who played in A-Team. Plays in that movie as the main guy.
Well, what an interesting coincidence that is then.
Yeah.
I should happen to have picked that up at the same place in the same time. District 9. It's funny because it doesn't list the cast on the back, which is the weirdest thing.
It's the same actor. He's got I can't say his name.
Charlito Copley.
Thank you.
Like that. Is that right? Yeah, that's maybe.
Yeah. Same actor.
See, I grew up, just going back to the A-Team, I grew up, I say grew up, I was already a teenager watching that show, the A-Team. So I have fond memories of the TV show. The movie I thought was okay,
Yeah.
District 9. I actually enjoyed District 9 because I thought at least it tried to be different.
Yeah.
And it presented the whole prejudice thing, given it was set in South Africa, very differently because everyone was prejudiced against the aliens. It didn't matter their background as humans. So
Yeah, you had Kenyans and white Afrikaans
Yeah,
being racist towards the aliens.
that's right.
Exactly.
So it presented that argument quite well. I thought that some things can unite humans, and in this case, it was hatred of aliens.
Or the way I got it, it doesn't matter. Human nature is always the same. Just change the variables, and the
Yeah.
human nature will always be the same.
Now, it did owe, I think, in plot terms, District 9 did owe a little bit to the Roadhouse Picnic, the Soviet novel set in the alien area that's all discarded stuff, and the stalkers go in and try and pick up alien artifacts,
Okay.
and they mean somewhat based on the Stalker video games are somewhat based on that. So it did owe a little bit to that because it's like alien junk basically. That's either it could be useful, but it can also be dangerous.
And Davina's got a good point. Anybody saw Alien Nation, which is a bit similar to the same thing as that.
Yeah, it had elements of other stuff. I can never remember the Roadside Picnic is the novel. Boris Arkady and Boris Strugatsky. So I've got a copy of that novel and read it many times. And there was a Russian movie famously made out of it, one of the terrible production hell type movies. So I think it borrowed a lot from that, but it's still pretty good. It was worthwhile. And then also on Blu-ray, Expendables 2.
Yes.
Which I didn't have on the physical. So I've got 1 and 2 on physical now. In fact, I might even have 3.
And Expendable 2 is the really, really funny one when they brought in Chuck Norris. Is that the one, or was Chuck Norris in the first one? I think
he wasn't. Yeah, I don't think Chuck was in the first one.
He was in the second one.
I think he was in the second one. Am I right in saying that, everybody?
Yes,
they kind of blend into me. The first two.
Yeah, it's pretty much cookie cutter action movie.
He makes the snake joke in this one, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right. The cobra died after 4 agonizing days.
That's right. Yeah, it's not bad. I think the last one was a huge disappointment because it was really just a Jason Statham movie. Not that I don't mind Jason Statham movies. He's one of my favorites, isn't he? It's been Now, these are interesting. Got these a few days ago in a different thrift store. You'll know this show. You might know the show Lex. Canadian science fiction show. Lex.
That was probably on Space TV, and I never had the pleasure of watching it.
So it's hard. I'm gonna. You know what? These were sealed, unopened. I got seasons 3 and seasons 4. I'm not going to watch them until I get seasons 1 and 2. Hopefully, the same thrift store just hadn't put them out yet, and when they put those out, I'll snap those up. Lex first season is brilliant. It had quite a lot of good guests in it. Matt Frewer, some other people like that. And it was also relatively, it had boobs. It did have boobs and some nudity.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed it.
So that's why science fiction with boobs, we're good. So Lex, seasons 3 and 4 I got. These were a couple of bucks each for each set. So let's see. I haven't opened these yet. So
yeah, they had Lex, they had Firefly, they had quite a few good ones back then, eh?
Firefly is magnificent. I will always love that show. And I wept when it was cancelled. Kind of. I did love it. Okay, so there's no particular extras inside, just the discs.
Okay.
But yeah, there were it was kind of like, I guess you could say it was very 90s sci-fi, but with boobs.
Yes.
And who doesn't like boobs? That's why it was on late at night. It's Farscape with boobs.
Yes. What was that underwater Sequest? Sequest is the one that I watched the most with Roy Scheider.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to getting seasons 1 and 2 as well. Season 1 is the best.
Okay.
But to pick these up for $2 each, unopened.
Wow.
Gotta have that, yeah. This
How much does
is
it cost you in shelves, Brian? Because I see
well, I
you're
had to get
running out
some
of
new
walls.
ones. I had to get a complete new one that matched the first one. And I have got some other stuff elsewhere. I'm running out of space. But this
You're
was the
running out of
mission. The
walls.
mission was to rebuild the physical media collection after years of getting rid of it. So, just a sealed copy of Star Wars Old Republic game, PC game. Back in the days when BioWare made games.
Yes.
I've got the Knights of the Old Republic box, PC box set of that as well.
I got that on Xbox too. And
Yeah.
I got my son into Star Wars playing that game when he was a child.
Yeah, it was free, sealed. So
Oh, you can't go wrong with that.
take it, yeah. I get all these from the Berry. These, so hey, Superior Nav. So we have one thrift store in my little town here, but I regularly raid the. They're about an hour away. There's a city and a couple of other towns that I can raid their stores. Also, library sales are great. I get a ton of stuff every year from the church sales are a good thing to go to. These are the places you'll always get great stuff. Estate sales, not so many of those around here, but there's always a couple of church sales every year where I get a ton of stuff. Library sales are great too. Find your local library, find out when they do their clear outs. These were free. Talking to library sales, these were free. Eagle Eye.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah. He Will Not Divide Us.
Lloyd's Mal, Shia LaBeouf.
I don't mind Michelle Monaghan. She's all right.
That
was free. It was okay. It wasn't a great movie.
I liked her in True Detective.
Yeah.
And I liked her in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Indeed. And who doesn't like to kiss, kiss, bang, bang?
Oh, exactly.
And these, this was the last one of these. The pile over here is quite big now. This was another quite a funny movie. I like this. Lucky Number 11.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
The Josh Hartnett, who can be underrated. I think he's not a bad actor. Pretty good cast. It's a fun movie, you know.
And it was is that the one that was non-linear?
Yeah, it's kind of non-linear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite neat. Bruce Forsyth, Ben Kingsley. Ben Kingsley not playing someone Indian or African or.
That's right.
Ben Kingsley.
Another great actor.
His greatest performance ever was in that.
Gandhi?
God, what was shit! My mind is just the one where the big boulder falls into the swimming pool at the beginning of the movie.
Are we talking Cocoon?
No. You know, my mind just went blank the minute I thought of the movie. My mind went blank. Sexy Beast.
Sexy Beast.
Sexy Beast. Ben Kingsley. First time I think you would ever seen him as an out-and-out villain. And this is a guy that played Gandhi, and he was a vicious little shit in it. Sexy Beast, that's right. Great movie. Ben Kingsley's finest hour. So that was all the Blu-rays and DVDs. These were being given away for free in the library as well. I had most of this stuff already, but it's just some music stuff. Poison, best of. This is nothing but a good time.
Poison's greatest.
Tim McGraw. I went to some country stuff. I thought for free I'll grab that. I don't know if there's any tracks in it worth listening to. Live Like You're Dying. I mean, he could have had hits. I don't know what they are. I might hear them on the radio, but I've no idea. There was a bunch of Aerosmith stuff. This is actually a pretty good album. I had it in digital already. Honkin' on Bobo. It's a pretty good bluesy Aerosmith album. If you've never heard it.
No, never heard of that.
It's all blues. It's all blues material.
And Steven Tyler on harmonica, I'm sure.
Yeah. So there's covers on it. I don't know if it's all covers. Like Baby Please Don't Go is on there, stuff like that. But it's a really good blues-based album. Very, very good. They had some Aerosmith hits stuff, big ones. I've got all these already, but not on physical, though. So for free, I thought I'll take them. AC/DC. Stiff upper lip.
Nice.
I've got them all in digital, but what the hell? Aerosmith, another Aerosmith anthology, Young Lust, which is a 2 CD anthology. It's got a couple of tracks I didn't have on it, like interesting little pieces that I didn't have, so I'll check that out. Again, for free, my favorite price.
You can't go wrong with that.
It's the Blondie, which I've already got in digital. In fact, I've got a lot of it in vinyl too. But, the classic Blondie stuff. I love this era. The old Blondie stuff.
And I have mad respect for Deborah Harry. She gave up her musical career to take care of her ailing husband.
Yeah.
You know, I have mad respect for that woman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have Denis on it, which is a shame. Denis. I like the first 2 or 3 Blondie albums. They're peak new wave. Brilliant. I've got this material. I've got this material a million times over. Queen.
That's right. Vinyl, 8 tracks,
but
cassette.
There it was lying there for nothing. I thought, well, even if I don't keep it, I can give it to somebody.
1,000,001.
I've got 1,000,001 versions of these Queen. Yeah, platinum collection of Blondie. Brilliant stuff. Ian McShane was also a baddie in Sexy Beast, which he hadn't done a lot of baddies up till then either, which was really good. So,
well, he was in Deadwood.
Yeah, well, this is before that, I think. So,
okay.
He'd been used to playing like lovable rogues like Lovejoy on British television, and Sexy Beast, he's a ruthless gangster. This is quite neat, though. The soundtrack for Rockstar, which is Steel Dragon, of course, is the band. Steel Dragon. There's some good tracks on here. I like this album. I've got some of the tracks digitally. It's the music. So it's got also some other non-Steel Dragon stuff on it. Some of which is fine. Ted Nugent, Stranglehold, that's okay. Trevor Rabin, it's pretty good. But the Steel Dragon stuff's pretty good. Because that band was like a lot of these movie things, they get some real rock stars in to do stuff for real. So it was Zakk Wylde on guitar, Jason Bonham on drums, and the wonderful Jeff Pilson on bass. I love Jeff Pilson. He's been with the Foreigner touring band for a few years now. Love Pilson from Dokken and all that. So the Rockstar, I've got the movie and now I've got the soundtrack. And none of them really cost me anything. So
remember Eddie and the Cruisers? That was my first taste of a mock rock band.
Yeah, we did a show about it a couple of years ago. My favorite mock rock bands like the Ruttles and the Oneaters and the Wonders.
That's right.
Yeah, and a bunch of others like that. So there's something quite neat about fake rock bands. Stillwater, which was almost famous.
Yeah.
So that was. Oh no, there's one more thing. There was one book. I took one book from the library.
Wow, you got a book at the library? Really?
We had so many, but I don't take as many of those because I would do a lot of my reading on the tablet the last few years. I read every day. Every day I'll read something, even if it's 15 minutes at night. I've never missed a night, no matter what.
Good man.
It's just a big book about Clint Eastwood.
Oh, nice.
Richard Schickel writing, and it's just movie by movie. Lots of great photographs in it, which is why I took it. Where Eagles Dare, great movie
with Richard Burton again.
So just it was well worth picking up for $0. A pictorial on Clint. So that was it.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not going to go right, but speaking of reading, let's see if I can get you back to full size. There you go. As I say, I read every night. I read during the day sometimes too, but every night I'll try and read at least 15, 20 minutes, no matter how knackered I am. It's a thing I have to do. I currently am reading, here we go. This guy, I discovered this guy, Mark Allen Adelheit, who
Okay.
writes fantasy and military science fiction. I'm a big military sci-fi guy. I love to read that stuff. Don't know much about him other than the fact he can't spell guardians. The first one I read was indeed this one called Off Midway Station, Guardians of Dark Book 1. And I was really annoyed when I got to the end when I discovered that he hasn't written Book 2 yet. And I've got to bloody wait for it. Because normally when I discover something like this, there's already 10 books written.
Yeah.
So don't. Yeah, this guy's good. It's military sci-fi. And I'm also now, though, reading this. While I'm waiting for the second in that series, I'm reading this Steiger Chronicles series, which is a kind of a Roman Empire fantasy, but it isn't the Roman Empire, but it reads like the Roman Empire, but it's a different Earth. But it's
okay.
It's all very Roman Empire in language and technology. It's just not, when you read the place names, it's nothing to do with current. So these are pretty good. I'm really impressed so far by this guy, Mark Allen Adelheit. So that's what I'm reading right now, just in case anybody was interested.
Nice.
Indeed. We'll probably wrap up soon, but I want to just, not going to necessarily watch it, but the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning trailer. Saw that yesterday. I'm sure many of you have seen it. The last one was okay. Like, it wasn't my favorite Mission Impossible.
Okay.
I didn't come out of it thinking it was as good as I thought it would be going in. It was still okay. I mean, breathtaking stuff, some of it, but maybe because it was part 1 of 2, it didn't really thrill me. So I don't know what people are thinking about this. Again, the trailer does look good. It's Tom Cruise. It's Mission Impossible. It's going to have a ton of shit. And maybe this time they won't spoil as many of the stunts in it, and it'll be a bit more, and he's doing his running.
Yeah, running, and there'll be a motorcycle.
I watched a Korean show yesterday called My Beautiful Wife. It's a crime drama from 2016, and the guy was running just the same way,
like Tom Cruise.
The arms aren't like this. So I mean, I don't know what people think of this, but this trailer.
When you think about it, Tom Cruise never got caught running that way. Nobody ever caught up to Tom Cruise, so there must be something to it.
He really leaned into that running meme. He did. So it doesn't look bad. He's got one of those underwater cell phones, I noticed.
Wow.
Yeah. The biplane stuff looks good. This is interspersed with older clips, I noticed, but yeah, there's. So is he going to have to be revived from dying again? That happens all the time. Like he dies and they have to revive him. It's happened about 4 times. Yeah.
And there's some member berries too, right? The knife from the first Mission Impossible.
Yeah, there's member berries all over it, but I'm excited, and it looks like that's going to be the last one. So I'll go watch it. I think I'll go watch it. Yes, indeed, Larry. We were talking about that at the beginning. Both Christian and I attended our local events in there. I go every year, of course. I am a member of the Canadian Legion as well, and
so am I.
A veteran, so I feel compelled to remember. We will not forget. We will remember. So yes, it's always a special day. So that's something coming up.
That's something, something worth going. Maybe a date night with the lady wife.
Nah, just take the lads and all get pissed and go watch it.
There we go. That works too. You get thrown out of the movie halfway through.
Yeah. Another movie I'm looking forward to that's coming up very. Sheep's Gone Wild too. Have you? Snowder might not have seen my Sheep video I've got.
I saw it. You showed it
You
on my
saw it,
screen.
yeah, I picked up a free
And I was
hunting video of its sheep. I don't know what
mountain sheeps. 22 kills in 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, that's really, I mean, why would you do that to sexy sheep like that?
Yeah. And
I can't remember the name of it, but it's filed here somewhere.
yeah, and it's part of the Grand Slam Club. That I remember. You did it on my channel. You brought that up on my
That's
channel.
right. Where the hell did I put that?
It got rave reviews on my channel. I can't speak for your channel. Yeah, 22 kills in mountain sheeps. 22 kills in 2 hours.
I can't even remember the name of it now, but it was. I saw it for free in this recycling place. Somebody was getting rid of it. And I thought, I'll have that.
I remember commenting, "This sounds better than the Mile High Club."
Indeed.
You know?
So one other movie I wanted to point out, I'm always talking about Korean stuff. There's a movie coming out in December called Harbin, which is a place in Manchuria where a lot of the Korean independence fighters went when Japan occupied Korea in the early part of the 20th century. This is a big budget action thing starring Hyun Bin, who's major star, and my wife seems to think he's very attractive for some reason.
Okay.
He's ugly. He's terrible. He's ugly and he's unfit.
Right. He's so ugly, he's pugly.
So anyway, Harbin's coming out soon. It's a movie I will definitely be going to see. It's going to be action, etc. Spying, action, intrigue, people blowing buildings up. There's Hyun Bin. Star of many Korean things, but he's might be known by some ladies for Crash Landing on You, which is a romantic Korean show on Netflix.
Ah, okay.
But he has done action stuff too. He did Rampant, which is a great Korean zombie movie. So this, I'm definitely looking forward to. The Righteous Army stuff. So it's going to be,
and
that'll be fun.
I keep seeing TIFF everywhere in these movies. Is it Toronto International Film Festival?
Yeah, they show a lot of these at the Toronto and other film festivals before they ever get released cinematically. But yeah, that's going to be a good movie. And I've seen a few good Korean movies this year, so I'm already starting to think about which are my favorites. That one's going to be, I suspect that will be one of those. It's just going to be pure entertainment,
but
spying, blowing things up,
but
shooting bad people.
But being your friend, Brian, and following you from afar, because I'm not a big Korean guy fan, but I don't think there is actually a bad Korean movie yet.
Well, I've kind of ranked the hundreds I've seen now, and there's a few that I've felt were pretty poor.
Okay.
On balance, though, I'd say there's more good ones than bad ones, which you can't say about Hollywood at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when they're great, they're really great.
Yeah, I know. It's a new height, and it's a whole different level than what Hollywood and even the Western movie, like you look at French movies, German movies, and all that. There's only one thing me and Melanie are watching that's current, and it's From on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
And filmed in Nova Scotia. They actually built a whole town just for that. We're up to season 3. It's paranormal and everything, but that's the only thing. Mind you, there's a lot of filler in it, a lot of drama. As Gary Neuroerotic says, talk about feelings in the hallways. Okay, but it's still got a concept, a good idea.
Absolutely, yeah. There is the occasional English language thing I watched right now. The season 3 of The Lincoln Lawyer, which is okay.
Okay,
it's fine. It's got all the boxes ticked, but that doesn't interfere with the plot too much, if you know what I mean. So
yeah.
So it's kind of, you could say it's done right, and it is good. But they're based on Michael Connolly books, so they're pretty good. I'm going to try and see if I can send everybody over to Tom when we finish up. The Next Edge After Dark, if he's on right now. or is it Mead Radio? It's Mead Radio.
New radio, I think I saw.
So keep talking while I figure out how to do this.
No problem. And my
Hang on.
big dilemma, and I don't know if you guys are the same. I'm 53 years old. I remember when movies were movies.
Yeah.
Now in this new streaming world, we have this issue where you got 2, 3, 4 seasons, but unfortunately there might be a season and a half of actual concrete material there, and everything else is filler. So a lot of times I don't really like to see these new shows on TV because there's just too much filler, in my opinion. I find that's an issue with me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they're filling these channels, particularly some of the streaming stuff. It's just, there's a lot of garbage on there, and there always was. There always was a lot of garbage, but it's even worse garbage now.
Yeah.
But I've got a constant flow of new and old Korean stuff, and some Japanese and some Chinese stuff too, I have to say. Taiwan and Hong Kong stuff that I could go the rest of my life without seeing anything in English.
Right. Well, yeah, probably.
So there will be a redirect to Midnight's Edge after dark. And there's the link also in the chat. But yeah, so there's I've got a few videos lined up for some Korean things that I've watched or coming out. The last one I watched was Uprising on Netflix, which was good. The streaming services, even like Disney Plus, for instance, which I don't have, but I watch the Korean Disney Plus stuff. Their Korean output is magnificent. So whatever we say about the crap they're doing in Hollywood, Disney Plus, their English stuff, their Korean content is superb.
Yeah.
Totally different world entirely. So I have to give them kudos. I have to give them kudos for that. Same with Netflix, even some of the Amazon Prime Korean stuff. I watched a Paramount Plus Korean show. I mean, some of them are not produced by them directly. They're from Korean studios, but they've bought the rights. And there was a one called a Bloody Lucky Day, which was hard going because it was pretty vicious, but it was a great tense drama. That was on Paramount Plus, apparently. I get them from Korean sites, but so that's where it is for me, and that's where it's at for me, Korean stuff.
All right,
mainly, but the Japanese stuff too. There's a lot of good Japanese stuff.
Well, me and Mel are going back to 1995 tonight. We're watching Congo with Ernie Hudson and Tim Curry. Remember that one from 1995?
Is that the one with the sesame cake?
Eating
my sesame cake.
Yes, stop eating my sesame cake.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
And the killer gorillas. Yeah, and he's like, no, stop eating my sesame cake.
Stop eating my sesame cake. Not a bad movie, actually. I love Tim Curry, though. Tim Curry's a treasure.
Ernie Hudson is underrated.
Yeah. Good stuff. I think, tonight I will be, first of all, I'll be having some dinner, and then I'll be watching the Dallas Stars get their ass kicked again. Then I'll be later on Comics Division, midnight Monday Night Meltdown. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time is the next show. In the official ones, this was an unofficial, what the hell, let me just call up the thumbnail for the next show. So I will prevaricate. Here it is. Thumbnail. So Wednesday night, we're going to do science fiction classic movie, because we do those, and it's going to be The Black Hole.
Yes. No joke.
We are diving deeply into the black hole.
Yeah, deep
dive into the black hole. Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. That should be a lot of fun.
That's such a great movie. Except, I know it was a Disney movie. I could have done without the comedy relief of the robot.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, the movie we got was not the movie that was originally envisaged. And I do want to talk about that because it changed quite a bit from the first screenplay or the first written story.
Okay.
It was originally intended to be a disaster movie.
Oh.
And then it turned into something else, which was more of we have a super villain or a villainous guy, and there's this metaphysical bit at the end, and there's these robots. It was originally meant to be ship being pulled into a black hole and like a disaster movie,
Right.
like Poseidon Adventure in space.
Right.
And it changed quite a bit from that. So that's interesting. It'll be interesting to talk about that. But yeah, I hope to see you all there for that. What have you got coming up, my friend?
Well, this last Sunday, we've done East Coast Trash Metal, and this is on my Rumble Vinyl Revival. And Revival with a Y. Okay, so if you're looking me up on Rumble, but we did East Coast Trash Metal. So in exactly 13 days, we're doing West Coast Trash Metal. And then in exactly 27 days, I'm finally coming home and I'm hitting my favorite band in the whole wide world. It took me a while. I'm up to 23 shows, but I'm finally tapping into Creedence Clearwater Revival. And it will be a musical show December 8th. And so far, that's all I got so far. And yours truly, our host, is always welcome front and center. So,
Indeed. I try to make it when I can, mate. I always enjoy hanging out with you. And thank you for coming in today.
oh, my pleasure.
And thank you for being a groupie of the channel.
I don't feel cheap and dirty, so I don't mind.
I will do that YouTube thing we're supposed to do. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment.
Oh, yes.
Blah, blah, blah. Humbly consider a membership to keep the lights on here at the tower. It's not the tower, I'm in the basement. All that good stuff. But I do appreciate everybody being here today. Given it was we had a great crowd, given this was like an impromptu stream. Thank you to D-Bud and Davina for the modding. Thank you to everyone for their chats. You were all wonderful. I appreciate you very much. We will see you on Wednesday night for the black hole. We're going to look into the black hole. So be there, be square, and all that stuff. Till then, keep on rocking. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.